Most people are living in a financial house with no foundation. They just keep stacking money on sound and wondering why nothing stands. Welcome to Minted Knowledge, your hub for financial knowledge. I'm your host, Tim Lane, and this is where the confused will become confident and where every episode will be another stone in your foundation. So get your writing material, pay rapt attention. The class is in session. Have you ever find yourself saying something bad and then immediately you bite your tongue? Or maybe someone quickly cautioned you and said, God forbid. Or perhaps you grew up in an environment where people warned you never to speak negativity out loud because words are powerful. The exact same phenomenon happens with our finances. Now, I don't want to get overly religious with you today, but let's try a quick experiment. I am going to say a statement, and I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to notice how your body feels the moment you hear it. Are you ready? Okay, go. I can't afford that. What does that feel like for you? Because for most people, what they hear is an heavy door slamming shut, and it feels like a defeat whenever they hear that statement. Now, let's try the second statement. This is not where I am putting my money right now. What feeling do you get from that second statement? I want to bet it with you that it's a different mental posture entirely. Isn't it? The second statement is honest, and this is actually how affluent people speak about money, because it names a choice and not lack. It says, I have money, but I am intentionally directing it somewhere. When you say, I can't afford that, you train your brain to see yourself as being powerless. I need you to realize that words are not just descriptive, they are prescriptive too. They don't just describe your current reality, they actively shape it. If your financial language running through your head and coming out of your mouth every single day is a language of scarcity, your brain will dutifully organize your behavior around that exact story. If all you declare is lack, trust me, lack is what your brain will engineer. And researchers and psychologists have confirmed this. They said framing directly impacts how we process information and respond to life. Think about an argument with a partner. Sometimes it wasn't what they said that was a problem, but how they framed it. That was what triggered a completely different direct reaction. And in financial psychology, the word we consistently use around money primes our brain for the decisions we make. There's a theory called the self-perception theory, and it shows that people who articulate growth-oriented financial language score significantly higher on financial capabilities measures. Because the mechanism is simple. Your brain strives to make your reality consistent with what you describe. If you describe yourself as someone who never has money, your brain will work over time to confirm that identity. But if you describe yourself as someone building financial discipline, your brain will start hunting for evidences to produce that identity instead. Take for example, if you are in an area that you are not really familiar with, and in your head you've assumed that you are lost, your chances of seeing a way out are slim. But if you are in that same situation, but you have an open mind about how you can get out of there, your brain will start seeing possibilities on how you can escape that or leave that location. The part of our brain that filters information, that is the reticular activating system, it filters reality to match active narrative that we push. And to help you renovate this mental house, here are 6 exact language replacements that will alter the financial architecture. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, I want you to start saying, that is not my priority right now. Or, how can I afford that? Instead of saying, I am broke, I want you to start saying, my money for this month is fully allocated. Instead of saying, I am bad with money, start saying, I am actively improving my financial skills. Instead of saying, I will save when I earn more, start saying, I save a fixed percentage of whatever I earn. Instead of saying, investing is too risky, start saying, I am learning about investment to make informed decisions. And lastly, instead of saying, rich people are lucky, say, wealthy people have habits I can study and adopt. Let me break down why this works. When you swap I can't afford it to how can I afford it, you engage your brain in problem solving rather than shutting it down. When you say my money is fully allocated instead of I am broke, you acknowledge that you have money, but it is bound by intentional discipline. And when you say I will save when I earn more, it is conditional, and that day may never arrive. But when you say I save a percentage of whatever I earn, it is immediate and scalable. And swapping investing is too risky for I am learning to make informed decision would remind you that risk isn't reduced by avoidance, it is managed by knowledge. Therefore, your brain will start seeking knowledge in order to manage risk. I want you to know that language is not just a tool for communication, it is a blueprint. The word you use constructs a mental house that you would live in, and that mental house will dictate what decision feels possible, what risks feels manageable, and what future feels reachable to you due to your words. If you've been building your house with scarcity language for years, maybe even for decades, I believe it's time you start renovating it, one phrase at a time. When you start using these new phrases around people, it will feel awkward. I'm not gonna lie to you. People might even look at you weirdly when you say my capital for this week is fully allocated instead of I don't have money. They might even pull your leg and laugh at you. But one thing is, saying this over time will radically shift your perspective and rewire your mindset. So your task for this week is simple. Write down those 6 statements and their replacements. And whenever you catch yourself saying the first ones, replace it with these new ones. Catch the statement and replace the frame, and watch your brain begin to spot possibility instead of walls. If you practice this for a very long time, you will see significant changes. I am a proof of that. Every great house starts with a decision to build something that lasts. And you just made that decision. This is Minted Knowledge. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next episode.